to Nurture Our Nature Counseling. I'm Hilke and I'm a holistic counselor and wellness coach. And I have a question for you. What if your pain is protecting you? What if your issues, your problems are keeping you safe? So this is something that I work on a lot with my lovely clients during therapy sessions, because very often the stuff that we are stuck on, the sticky stuff, the issues that we just cannot resolve no matter what we do, they have a protective purpose. And that might sound really crazy to you. Like, I really, really want a child. How on earth is it going to be protective for me that I can't conceive? Or I love to go for runs and be physically active. How is my foot pain possibly good for me? And really, the reason for this is that every problem started as a solution. So this is a phrase I picked up way back during my practitioner training, and it's stuck with me since, and I keep reading it here and there because it really resonates. Every problem, every issue started as a solution. So when we are young and we come up against something, so during childhood, we come up against something that is hard to deal with, whether it's a feeling of fear or loneliness, whether it's physical pain, anything really. Our, let's say, 4-year-old, 6-year-old, 10-year-old self will then find a solution. And it might not be what you would choose as an adult, but for that stage of your brain development, that solution is perfectly appropriate and makes sense to your brain at that stage. And it works. For that moment, it is perceived as working. And you forget about it, carry on with life. And after a while, you have this pattern going and you don't know why. And it's because your brain has found this aspect that was once helpful and it's carrying it over. And then you might experience that feeling, say, of loneliness or whatever again. And your brain will use that same solution, and it might not be appropriate anymore. So maybe you were feeling lonely or really sad about something. Maybe you'd had a fight with your best friend and your mom gave you a piece of chocolate. You felt better. You felt loved by your mom and you had this delicious chocolate to take care of things, and things were better. Your brain then does not analyze the different things about it, but that pattern might then become ingrained over years and years. And as an adult, like your rational grown up part of your mind knows that this response isn't appropriate anymore, and that there are better things to do when you're feeling lonely or sad or had a fight. But the protective part of your brain sees this on this kind of a solution and will give that solution to you again and again, even though now that you're an adult, it's become a problem. But before you sort of tap into this protective mechanism, you can't really get rid of it, and you will keep getting stuck, being stuck, staying stuck, fighting with the same issues in your life over and over again. So there are many different ways to tackle this, and as you know, I like to work with the body because, well, our brain is part of our body and memories are held in our body, and the nervous system remembers. And there's more and more research on this. So, with my clients, I like to tap into the first time they felt this way, or something that might remind them of this, or a certain way they are feeling. Then we relax into the body. We might do a little meditation together. Tapping, EFT tapping is just really, really wonderful for this, accessing the subconscious part or the less conscious part. And you might get a flash of something, and it might not even seem relevant. But the beautiful thing about therapy is that you've got someone to explore this with in a safe way. And very often we uncover something that my client might never otherwise have thought of as a relevant piece of the puzzle. And when we go back and then work on this part, just reassure it, figure out the purpose of it. What's this bit of you, this part of your brain, this mechanism trying to protect you from? What's it trying to achieve? And then we work with that part and we thank it for its service. Like, it's used to being beaten on and pushed to the side. So we start to accept that part of ourselves and then find a different way for your brain that's really doing such a beautiful job in trying to protect you, to go back and protect you in a better way. That part of you can then serve you in a way that's aligned with your values. So values are so important, and once you start working with your values and applying them in your life, so maybe let's say this client who had this fight with her best friend in childhood, mom gave her chocolate and she felt a bit better. That one of her strong values is connection, family, friendship, love. And that's a value which was served when she was young by her mum, and she felt better, and the chocolate has become that substitute. So then we can look at how else can you honor that value of protection. And of course there's a lot more to it, and we do different bits of work, and it's enjoyable. And not just for me as a therapist, but for my clients. It's an enjoyable, liberating process. They feel free and come closer back to their true original self, and don't have to fight themselves so much. So the process I've described, of course you can do that by yourself too. You can make a start on this if you feel safe to do so. Don't do anything that does not feel safe. And if there is trauma in your history, please don't just start delving into the past in this way by yourself, because you do need a trauma affirming approach that keeps you safe at every stage. But for little things, or have a play with this, connect with yourself, see what else there might be, and what are your issues protecting you from. What is your pain trying to tell you? I hope you find this as fascinating as I do, and maybe something resonated. So if it did, I would love, love, love to hear from you. Book in a free 15-minute call. You can book in a session straight away if you like. But if this resonates, leave a comment under this video. If this did resonate, I would love to hear from you. And please give me a thumbs up. That would would make me very happy. And subscribe to the channel so you get my updates and more people can find me. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.